This is Tom and Paula Graves from Light of Christ Radio with a chapter from our series called The Greatest Story.
You're welcome to watch this video simply for the story, or you can use it as the basis of a small group study.
Instructions for the small group study can be found in the Show More section below this video.
Today, we continue our series called The Greatest Story, and we're taking a journey through the Old Testament as we look at kings from 1 Samuel 8.
Well, Paula, to set the context of the story, after winning the Battle of Jericho, the nation of Israel slowly began possessing the Promised Land.
And they conquered much of what God had promised, but they were not always obedient to God's commands.
God ruled the country through men and women he appointed called judges for over 300 years.
And Samuel was one of the last judges. He had been instrumental in leading the people back to God and to victory over their enemies, but his sons were corrupt.
And the people were dissatisfied with the sons of Samuel, but even more, they were dissatisfied with the way God ruled.
And even though God had prophesied that there would be kings in Israel, the beginning of the rule of the kings came in a surprising way, which leads us to a story from the Word of God.
When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel's leaders. His sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted justice.
So all the elders of Israel gathered together, and they came to Samuel, and they said to him, "You are old, and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint us a king to lead us, such as all the other nations have."
But when they said, "Give us a king to lead us," this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, "Listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king, as they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods, so they are doing to you. Now listen to them, but warn them sternly, and let them know the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights."
And Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. He said, "This is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses, and they will run in front of his chariots. And some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and fifties, and others to plow up his ground and reap his harvest, and others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers, and he will take the best of your fields, vineyards, and olive groves and give them to his attendants.
He will take a tenth of your grain and your wine and give it to his officials and attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take a tenth of your flocks, and you'll become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you on that day."
But the people refused to listen to Samuel. "No," they said, "we want a king over us. Then we will be like all the other nations, with a king to lead us and to go out before us and fight our battles."
When Samuel heard all that the people said, he repeated it before the Lord. The Lord answered, "Listen to them and give them a king."
And this is a story from the Word of God.
If you're using this video for small group application, after you've watched this video, try retelling the story from what you have heard.
Then read the text. Discussion questions are below in the Show More section.
We hope this will help you on your journey of life.
Be blessed.